Hey, my name's Joel, and in this video, we're gonna be taking an in-depth look at this Suburbs model infrared heater, simulated flame, cast iron looking stove from Turbro. They make some really cool heating products, and this is no exception. This is one of my favorite ideas because you get the look and the feel, even the warmth of a cast iron stove, but no chimney, no mess, no wood, no nothing. So we're gonna take an in-depth look. I'll give you my honest opinion on whether or not this is a good buy for you, so you can be sure to make the right decision. All right, so we've opened up the box here and pulled all the components out so you can see everything that comes with the stove. Obviously, covered up here we have the stove itself. This is the main area, the heating unit. It's got a door, it's kind of taped down. Then we have two packages of legs. We'll open those up here so you can see. These are gonna go one on each corner, and we'll do that in just a second. Two more. And then of course we have instructions and the remote inside here, along with the little tiny screws that we are going to use to attach these legs. This remote I think is going to be the most useful part because this means I can sit on the couch and operate this from a distance. So let's get started assembling these legs and see how easy it is. All right, so I'm going to slowly kind of lower this back, kind of trying to avoid crinkling the electrical cord right here coming out of the back. And I did bring a little screw gun to make this easier on myself. I think it should be pretty easy. It's just 4 little screws on each side. So we're going to take these screws and find a bit that works for us. They're pretty small. All right, I'll show you one up close here. The easiest thing to do is to get them all kind of started before you drive them all through. We're going to go down here to the bottom, start another. Then we'll go ahead and just make sure we're finding the holes. There we go. And then we can drive them all home now that we have all 4 screws in their holes. And that's what it should look like when you're done. All right, now we've got everything assembled. That really wasn't hard at all. It took me about 5 minutes to put these legs on, and they seem nice and sturdy. So let's go ahead and take the cap off of our electric cord here. That's really all we have to do after we've attached the legs, and plug this thing in so we can go through the many features of this beautiful electric stove / heater. And it does come with a nice right angle plug, which I like because it's so much better if you want to put a couch or something up against this. Obviously you want to keep the heater away from furniture and walls a little bit because it is going to be getting hot, but this plug might be going behind something, and that 90-degree angle plug is really beneficial. All right, so we've got the heater set up on a mantle here so you can take a closer look. You're going to see me and everything else in the glass, so try not to be distracted. So let's first open up this door so you can see kind of what's behind it here. It's just kind of a plexiglass door. Everything's lightweight. This is plastic. This is not metal, but it's not something you need to be opening all the time unless you're using the hand controls, which are right here. You can use this to adjust your flame level, 3, 2, 1. Here is your on-off switch, obviously. So you've got a timer or a heater switch down here in the bottom corner that controls your level of heat. Now you do need to use the remote control to adjust the thermostat up and down. You'll see here, if we use the remote, we can adjust the temperature you want it, the level you want to set the thermostat at. It will kick on and off when you do that. Then you can also use this little button here to set a timer. If you want to do it a 30-minute timer all the way up to 6 hours, you can do that, or you can turn it off. Now it does have simulated sounds, and the only way to turn those on is with this remote. So you can control the flames and the sounds with this button here. You have to hold this for 5 seconds to get your sounds. There we go. There, the heater is now off. But it does sound like a real wood fire if you really wanted that. You'll see the grates on the side from in here. Just makes it look nice and authentic and real. And I'm really impressed with these flames. I mean, they're a beautiful color. You know, from 5 feet back, you would never know they weren't real. Obviously, you can adjust the level here of these flames. 3, 2, and 1. Off. 3, 2, 1. I prefer 3. I think it's a really beautiful glow. It's not too overwhelming at 3, so I would keep it there. And then your heater is down here. Let's turn that back on so you can see the heating element will warm up in glow orange. It is an infrared heater, so it's heating objects in the room, not just the whole room itself. And you'll see these beautiful pedestal feet that were no problem to install, no problem at all. It really does look the part of a cast iron stove, but I believe most of it, this is metal here. This is plastic, the top is metal, but it's light. You can pick it up, you can move it. You'll just kind of see it's a nice style all the way around. Looks the part, looks authentic. All right, so we have the lights off so you can clearly see the heating element down below and the flames up top. We have our remote control. We're gonna do a little changing of the levels of flames so you can see the difference. So right now, this is L3. This is the highest level of flame. If I click it down, I can go to L2, there, and L1. So the least amount of flame. L3, L2, L1. So you can see 3 is actually a really nice setting. I think it gives you more ember glow and just a more general feel of a fire, as well as you're getting that from down below. I think once you get down to the L1, it would have to be really dark and you just don't want much light because that doesn't put out much at all. But it is a pretty realistic flame. I'm impressed with how realistic it looks. Going back to the highest setting, you really wouldn't know the difference if you were 5 feet away, not paying attention to it, just having it indirect or in the corner. It's really beautiful. And then of course, even when you have the heat off, you could still sit here and enjoy the beautiful look of those simulated flames inside the stove. And there is one last feature about this stove that's awesome. It is a smart stove, so you can connect it to an app. It was really easy. It took me less than a minute. And then you have full control over things like flame, heat, temperature, your sound controls, and your timer. You can change the temperature scale. So let's just demo this a little. You can turn it on, power. There you go. Let's mess with our flame height. Go down to low, maybe up to high. Turn flames off. That's pretty cool. Or you can go to the heat function. Heat, you see our heating element turned on there. There we go. And you can control the intensity of the heat. You can go down here and control what your thermostat is set at. Right now we're set at 70. You can also control the sound. So let's turn it on. And we can change to the different types of sound. Sound 1, sound 2, sound 3 options. And a countdown timer. You can go between 30 minutes and 6 hours, just like you can do on the stove, but it's all on this remote. And honestly, I find this so much easier to use than the actual remote. It's really responsive. And then when you're done, you can turn it off. Right there. Nice and easy. I'm impressed with how much heat this puts out. If I was sitting 6-8 feet away on the couch, I would still be cozy. And it's really, really fun to operate. Easy to turn on and off. And of course, you also have the remote. So there's lots of different ways to control it, but a really good option over the ugly box heaters that you can buy just for their utility. This is a nice, beautiful piece that you can put in your home and be proud of. All right, well, that's it for this 25-inch Suburbs model electric stove / heater from Turbro. I'm really impressed with how realistic the flame is. That's probably my favorite part. The crackling sounds, you might really like that. I think I'll just use the infrared heat and the flames to create my ambiance, but this is so much better than having to lug wood or pellets in, keep a chimney clean, all of those things. Plus, I can put it wherever I want. I've got a cabin. I'm gonna place this right in the corner. It's going to fit perfectly. The simulated flames are great for me. Even has this remote so I can operate it from the couch. What's not to love? Easy setup, it's affordable, and it just works. So if you're interested in a heater that has a little bit more ambiance and a little more features than just a regular ugly box heater, then check this out for yourself. I really think you're gonna like it.